so awesome. They're tied now. Asam and YellOW. A Protoss and a Zerg. YellOW, one of the most infamous StarCraft players of all time. Asam, this is his first time playing, but clearly this is turning out to be a very interesting match that's going to be starting very, very soon. The next map is going to be Wuthering Heights, also known as Hills of Storm. I think that last game, again, was just very entertaining to see the build order for both of the players. They were very good for both of them, I believe, but it just turned out that the micro game ended up in the favor of Asam. Wow, I mean, I have to say, I'm just so impressed with Asam's build and the fact that it was executed so well. I would not have done such a risky opening that is so unorthodox against such a seasoned player as YellOW, but hey, looks like I was wrong because, in fact, it turned out to be very effective. I think we might see that opening used more often. Now, I have to also say that this map that's coming up is a map that we don't see a lot of games on. It's brand new, fresh off the Battle.net editor, or the StarCraft map editor. So I think this could also impact the game a lot. How do these players play on maps they have not gotten to practice for as much? There's a lot of people down here at the GOM TV Averatec-Intel Classic. Thank you again to our sponsors. Intel always being great at supporting esports events. And thank you to everybody at home who's watching. I guess I got to keep talking. I really thought the game was about to start. All right, and our next match that we also have coming up, I just want to remind everybody, is going to be Effort and Toscroll. Toscroll, the #1 female StarCraft player in the world, so that should be a very interesting game. I've never actually casted any of her games, so this will be my first time doing it. And I am happy to do that for you. I gotta say, it's a real honor to be down here. Blah, 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 blah. I hope this game starts. And I think that will happen in just a second. I thought I was going to be starting a lot faster, or I would have kept rambling on with interesting facts. We hope you're all watching at TeamLiquid.net. We really appreciate your support in the StarCraft pro gaming community, and of course GoSuGamers.net, all the StarCraft sites out there, whether they're Russian, Chinese, or English in language. We appreciate it. We are actually still waiting for this game to get started. I am in the game, or I do at least have a camera in front of me where I can see inside the game, and it does look like both players have now joined. And I think it's going to... Yeah, it looks like they're telling the observer that they're ready, so we'll probably get our cue from our Korean commentators to start the match pretty soon. Stay tuned.
2008 TG Sambo Intel Classic. StarCraft Universe, welcome to the Korea Ultimate Tournament. Get ready.
Okay, and the game has started. Both players tied 1-1. YellOW and Asam. Asam really proving that while this may be his first time playing, he certainly has the skills and the talents to possibly be a top gamer in a year or two. Already beating YellOW in what was a very, very entertaining game. Easily the most entertaining game we've seen at this tournament so far. This is the first day of the Averatec-Intel Classic, 128-person tournament. All top 32 pro gamers will in fact be here. Some of them already are here. The map is Wuthering Heights, a map which I believe Protoss will fast expand on. And of course Protoss is fast expanding because the pylon is put in a location that favors cannon placement, which is of course at the expansion. Zerg, on the other hand, probably also going to go for a hatchery on 12 build, an economical build. This could favor the Protoss, though, because Asam is about to scout YellOW. He could delay that upcoming hatchery. And he has spotted the Zerg. Did he back away, though, too quickly? I'm curious if he actually... I think In fact, he darted away too quickly and thought he had spotted the location where Creep would be. Asan, perhaps a little bit nervous. Either that or he's going to hide his tech. Asan now backing off. I believe what we're actually seeing here is Asan making an error, and when a lot of Protoss players scout the Zerg, they just try to check for the edge of the creep before they zip away to the next expansion, because they can get such a time advantage in their scouting. But instead, Asan has actually zipped away just a little bit too soon, probably a little bit anxious, and is now going to scout the Zerg last, and the Zerg is making a spawning pool on 9. So that could be bad for Protoss. Now I think suddenly Asan realizes there's no way there could be an Overlord there without, well, there's certainly no way there could be an Overlord there without him messing up his scouting, and is now going to go back. A lot of pressure on these players. And looks like we're going to see Nexus. Zergling speed upgrade on the way. Now backing out, realizing his opponent has in fact made the spawning pool on 9. He will need that extra probe to possibly hold that off. No, he will whip around, drawing one Zergling closer to him. 2 cannons now up, a gateway on the way too. Well, it's not on the way yet, but it will be. Oh, it will be. He's going to have to use all of these probes to block that, and YellOW realizes he's going to have to back out. Now, as we can see, YellOW actually putting the drones back on the extractor. And what that means is that YellOW is once again going to be doing a very fast tech build. YellOW does not seem to be one of these players like Savior who just sits back and techs to Mutalisk while he takes the whole map and just completely dominates you. YellOW is a much more aggressive, tactic-oriented, and technical player. The assimilator is being constructed on the Vespian gas geyser. This is pretty typical Protoss fast expansion stuff. We may see the Protoss player actually get a Citadel and get more gateways and do some type of a rushing move, since they are in pretty close proximity. A lair and a den. This could mean, once again, another possible Hydralisk entrance break, but it appears as though Asan is already getting a 3rd cannon because he does not want to lose in the same fashion as he did in the first game. When the Cybernetics core finishes, we'll find out if he's going to get the Citadel, the Robo Bay, or the Star Gate first. Until then, we sit and wait. Here comes an Overlord. Looks like YellOW's going to take a peek at how many cannons are there and decide if he should go with some type of... Oh, he almost lost the Overlord. YellOW's going to decide, based off how many cannons are there, if he should actually upgrade the Hydralisk speed and Overlord speed and try to do an entrance break, or if he should simply sit back and tech to Mutalisks, or he has a lot of options. But a player like YellOW is certainly not going to pre-decide exactly what type of opening he's going to do. He's going to do it based off his scouting. And speaking of scouting, a probe has slipped inside and will spot his opponent's tech. And you can see YellOW desperately trying to control his Zerglings. And no, the den has been spotted. And I think he's going to have to change his pattern. Because once he sees that, I mean, the result is obviously going to be that he's going to get more cannons at the front of his base. What is YellOW going to do? Is YellOW going to lose this game, possibly? That could be very embarrassing for YellOW, and definitely an ego booster for Asan. He might have already canceled the Hydralisk speed upgrade that he was probably getting. He's instead added another hatchery. We'll see if drones are coming out of the larva. That would probably be the wisest decision. Now moving out with some Zealots. This is an attempt to force the Zerg to make more Zerglings. But no, instead he's going to possibly whip around, maybe going into the main of his opponent's base. Asan backing off now. Oh, he might have upgraded drop. He may have upgraded drop and could possibly slip 2 lurkers into the back of his opponent's base. Asan may be in a very bad position. However, if this does not work in Yellow's favor, it could be just as bad for him as well. I just saw Yellow cancel. Oh no, excuse me, he's slipping Zerglings in there, and there is one lurker. This is a baller build, might I add. With a lurker, with the Zerglings, he can take out that one cannon and then immediately, rapidly tech to okay, here he comes now. Rushing in there, and will now manage to take out these cannons. The lurker will come out. However, Asan does have a Robo Bay, so he might be able to take this out. Lurker's on the move here. As you can see, Asan already made that extra cannon at the front of his base, assuming it was going to be a Hydralisk Blast. And he does take out that cannon. Can Asan get observers, or will Yellow's big brain win him this game? And if he can focus fire the Nexus, he should be able to take it out no problem. This will give Yellow a massive advantage, and while his economy may have been down, it's going to be up by a lot once the Nexus is taken out. Unfortunately for Asan, he does not have the opportunity to be offensive in any way right now because he does not have observers and has to deal with the lurkers in his main first. The Nexus is gone, and so is the Zealot. This is probably going to be a loss for Asan at this point. We could see more drop harassment from Yellow. These two Corsairs probably proving to be not as useful as Asan probably predicted that the alternative tech pattern might have been Mutalisks. Although it does seem as though Yellow was actually teching in this direction all along with this early drop upgrade. An unusual build, but clearly a build that works on a map like this because the main is so open and broad. The Corsair has now been taken out, more Hydralisks moving towards what I believe they will soon move towards the entrance of Asan. He needs the observers to take out those two lurkers so he can rebuild the Nexus. Meanwhile, another Hydralisk Blast is about to happen. Lurkers winning the battle against the pylon in what I might add is a quite imbalanced matchup. And I think we're going to see a lurker drop in the back of Asan's base, and that could be it could seal the deal, essentially. And here it comes! Lurkers and Hydralisks. All they have to do is take out that one cannon, the lurker immediately burrows. And yes, it will in fact more than likely be a win for a Yellow. I mean, let's face it, even if Asan somehow manages to hold off this attack, he's just not getting resources fast enough. Alright, it looks like he... Whoa. Barely managed to get those lurkers out. Meanwhile, more Hydralisks being pumped out, a Spire being thrown down, and even one defensive creep colony, which could be morphed to a Sunk in the back of his base, just in case things start to turn around. Yellow playing very safe and very smart. Asan is a mess right now. Now we see the cannon being reconstructed. An observer placed over the Nexus, a location where it's very hard to spot the observer, but another observer is taken out meanwhile elsewhere. Yellow knows that if he can take out a few observers here and there, it'll make it even harder for Asan to come back since he can't detect the lurkers. I think we're going to see a Nexus start up there very soon, but probably not finished because there's going to be another massive drop in the back of Asan's base. The Spire is already on the way, so I assume the next phase that we will see is going to be the Mutalisk tech. He will now take out this Stargate and the Robo support bay, and then probably come in from two sides and kill off his opponent. Meanwhile, there's a Reaver drop about to happen, but a Sunk is already there. So are the Hydralisks. And it looks like he's going to try to take on. Nice move by Asan, taking out that one Hydralisk. However, I presume that Scourge are on the way. It does look like he did get the shuttle speed upgrade. Now moving in here. The Reaver has been planted, taking out drones. And more drones. And this could be... Oh! No, he did not manage to take out those last few. If he could take out enough drones and then somehow save it. No, but Scorcher going to take out that one poor shuttle. Here comes another, man, Scarabs make this game that much more intense because they are so unpredictable. Now with Mutalisks out, it'll be much more difficult for Asan to take that back, his main, which he's already lost because he's already lost that star gate. Reaver's now moving back here, going to try to take out a few lurkers, and they will. But the Hydralisk lurker presence should make it pretty difficult to completely utilize those Reavers. But now, YellOW moving his Hydralisk in this area, which kind of almost acts like a funnel, but he doesn't care. He just wants to get at least one of those Reavers. And a little lurker drop over here in the back where the Cybernetics core is. He cannot mine with those probes. Let's be frank here, Asan is against the ropes. I don't know what it would take to possibly come back and win this game. Maybe a miracle. Maybe YellOW's computer crashing. I seriously don't know. Whoa! Lurker unburrowing and then doing a backflip into the Overlord. YellOW's micro is clearly good. Oh my God! Did it again. Who is this guy? Now he's just making Asan waste his Scarabs while he micros that in and out over and over again. Mutalisks are now going to come out, and I think this will be the killing blow. I know I said something like that earlier, but I really do believe that there's no way that Protoss can recover once Mutalisks start to dominate the map. He does not have any anti-air, and yes, it is a good game! A well-played game by YellOW. Asan also played very well, but let's be frank, YellOW just did a brilliant strategy at the start, which gave him more than enough ground to mop the rest of that game up. I have to say, he really did it. I don't know if you can hear the fans cheering. I don't know if I like this stuff, but wow, talk about an incredible game by both players. Asan, though, really showing us that he's a very talented player as well, simply unable to predict such a, I would say, obscure opening in that case. But certainly not a bad opening. YellOW, a risky player, but his risks do not come unrewarded. So wow, talk about a great game. The first game we've had that's gone to 3 rounds. We are now halfway through this event, and our next match is going to be, of course, Toss Girl, the Terran player. Her name tricked me for a second. Versus Effort, a good Zerg player. The YellOW fans look very happy. There actually were a lot of fans that showed up for Asan. Even though this is his first pro gaming event, they do not look as happy. Although certainly they can't be entirely disappointed with how well he played in that second game. And he even put up a great fight in that last game. Again, this is Nick Hazel's plot, broadcasting to you from Seoul, Korea, in Xinjiang. And these games are turning out to be great. This is the largest tournament in Korea, and I believe it has more prize money total than any other tournament that we actually that's actually going on right now. Which the result is that GOM TV is basically a bunch of ballers that are delivering some great StarCraft coverage that we really hope that you all enjoy. And I guess we're not done yet. Looks like we're gonna possibly be asking Grimto some more questions. Also want to say thank you to all the other websites that are watching. I know there's some people watching from Pure Ponage. I did find that last episode to be pretty damn funny. And you know what? I just got to say, I think we're going to be seeing a lot more great StarCraft coverage from GOM. Tell all your friends to tune in and watch. We have a lot of VODs stored, so you don't just have to tune in live. If you happen to sleep at night like most people in the United States, for instance, you can always watch the recordings the next day. And this is just one of many events that is to come from GOM TV. We also did the GSI. Please check that out as well. Effort versus Toss Girl next. Toss Girl, #1 Protoss No. I gotta stop saying that. Just because her name is Toss Girl does not mean she plays Protoss. Just means her name doesn't make sense. Number 1 female gamer in the world. And of course, a Terra player who is very skilled. Even beating top players like YellOW before. I think it should be a great game. Thank you again for watching and stay tuned.